Hey PC, it's Buck at BFK and Medusa. I'm making another tutorial today and I want to make lots more, so go ahead and hit me up anywhere on the PC. I'm around on the Discords, I'm on the forums, I'm on DG, PKC, all of those places. So go ahead and send me a friendly hello and tell me what you want to see. Today we're going to go over some textures. I'll show you how to make textures from these examples here on my desktop. I have Photoshop. I'm pretty useless with GIMP, so please don't ask me questions about it. But if you know how to navigate your own personal photo imaging system, whatever program that you're using, you should be good. Hopefully you'll be able to follow along, and hopefully you have all the tools that I'm going to use. It's really pretty simple, so let's give it a try. Right now I'm going to show you how to do photos that are not transparent. So basically with the argument of 0, they'll look like how they look like in the Photoshop editor. Well, I mean, Pets 4 does distort some of the colors sometimes, so hopefully they'll look like they do in our photo editing process. But we'll tackle transparent textures in another video because I'm not the greatest at them. I want to experiment with them a little bit more and see if I can make a couple cool ones first. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll just go in order of the ones that we have here. So this photo size is about 350 by 350, I'm pretty sure. Let's check it out. Oh, 301 by 301. So it's not too terribly big. All I'm going to do is resize it. So there's a couple of different sizes to keep in mind when you're creating textures. The common one I think is 64 by 64. That's pretty universal. You can make 128 by 128. That one's pretty nice too. I prefer 64 by 64 or 128 by 128 if I'm hexing for hexing bases. Like if you're covering a large area, then those ones look really good, especially for a shirt. If you're making a shirt, because it's covering so much of the dog or the cat, they look really nice with larger textures. So keep that in mind. You want to be able to make the right size choice. So I'm going to do 64 by 64 for this. And I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see what 128 looks like. That wouldn't be bad either. I'm going to go with 64 by 64 and see how that is in game. So all I'm going to do is file save as, make sure to change it to BMP. That's our file format for all of textures in Pets. I'm just going to save it to the desktop. It's going to ask me what depth. I'm not going to change it on here. I do that in another program. So I'm going to leave it at 24-bit. But it does have to be reduced down to 8-bit because that's what Pets 4 runs at. So this is my new one here. That's the BMP. So I'm going to delete that. And we're going to open up IrfanView, which is the program that you need in order to reduce the colors. It's the easiest way that I've found to do it. You can Google it and it should come up for a download. It's a free program, so download that. Checkers, all we do is go image, decrease color depth, and it automatically picks 8 BPP, which is what we want. We want that checked too. And we hit OK, and file, save or save as. Save it. Yes, we want to replace it. And this is already the reduced version, so that's pretty good. I'm pretty sure it's going to look pretty good in game. Now all we have to do is test it out. It's that simple. That's all you have to do. Oh, I have lines open already. So I'm going to use the lovely Fuzzlemut file, which is hexed by Cat Creature from Wild Abyss of Angels. Just because it's a really cute file and it's fairly big for body mass. So all I'm going to do is just throw that texture on the entire dog and see how it looks. So we're going to change our texture path to resource/dogs because that's the most common thing if you're giving out hex pets. So this will be an external texture and you have to send the texture along so people put it in their resource dogs file. That's pretty standard knowledge. You guys probably know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the argument setting here. Right now it's set to 1, which we don't want. We want it set to 0. And we're going to throw it on the entire dog. So we'll copy and paste that there too. Now I have to throw that in my resource dogs file, otherwise it won't work. And open up Pets 4. There we go. That's pretty cool. Ta-da! That's not bad. I don't mind that, but if you want it to be smaller, you can always resize it. That's so cool. I actually really like this. That would look really good for a shirt or a onesie or something. I'm just going to resize it quick so we can experiment with that. Nope, 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 nope. Let's do it really small. Let's go 16 by 16. Or is that too small? Maybe we should do 34. Yeah, 34. So same process. We're going to save as. Make sure it's BMP. Save. Okay. And we have to go back to OrphanView. Decrease color depth. And save. Fairly simple process. Once you do it a bunch of times, you'll have no problems with it at all. Now we're just going to replace this in our folder. Go back into Pets 4. Yeah, that's cute too. I like this one. I think I like it better smaller. That looks good. You could use it for paintballs or whatever. It's cute. Okay, now this is a pretty flat texture. There's not a lot of depth to the color. Whoops. Oh my goodness. I didn't mean to do that. It's pretty flat in terms of color depth. So what we can do is kind of hijack another texture. So this one is from Cats. You can actually find it in the game. And what I'm going to do is copy paste it. Actually, let's resize it. That'll probably be our best bet. What size did I do? Nope. 34. And then we're going to paste it onto this as a new layer. Oops. And then do a pretty low opacity. So we're going to affect the colors, obviously. But I'm okay with that because I'm more interested in getting a bit of that textured look on the white especially. It's up to you. You don't have to do this. It's just a strategy that I sometimes play with to get a nice little bit of texture going. So let's zoom in. I think I'm kind of happy with that. Gives it a little bit of a different kind of a look to it. Save that. Do the same process. So yeah, you'll see obviously I have my own taste. You'll obviously get to know what you like and what you're looking for. Play around with it. And it does take a little bit of tinkering, a little bit of trial and error. And let's see how it looks now. It's a little too orangey browny, which is from that other texture, but you guys get the point. You can fiddle around with it and see what you can come up with. So let's do the other ones and see how they look. It's basically just going to be the same thing over and over again, but that's okay because you guys can get used to it and feel comfortable with the process that way. So we'll try the rainbows one. Image, resize, let's try 128. Now this one's going to look way better, smaller too. Basically, all you have to do is remember what you've named your file, put her in lines after you do all this. Fuzzlemut. Rainbows. Rainbows. Save. Oops. Save. Open it in pets. Ooh, I didn't like that. Did I not do Earth and View? Sometimes I forget to do that. I probably did not. Oh, huh. I deleted the wrong one, I think. What is going on? Well, we're gonna do this process again. Textures, as you can see, are sometimes a bit finicky. So try to take it slow. I don't know why I was doing that. Excuse me. Let's double check lines. User shots, rainbows. Yeah, that should be fine. Open it up again. Hopefully it works this time. There we go. I don't know what I did. I'll probably go back later and figure it out, but the point is, it looks pretty good. And you can tell, I mean, the colors hold up fairly nicely for a lot of the time, but sometimes they change a little bit, but not as much as if you do paintballs and stuff, or if you do, yeah, they remain pretty nice. That actually looks really cute. I like that a lot. And you can play around, make it smaller. There's certain sizes that are compatible and certain sizes that aren't compatible for the textures. So you can do 128, 64 by 64, 34 by 34, 16 by 16, and even 9 by 9. I've done some 9 by 9s with my bow textures before, just to mix it up a little bit. Sometimes the bows, because they're so small, they look better with smaller textures. So if you're not sure, just go into your resource folder and go, okay, what size is this one? It's 128 by 128. What size is this one? 32 by 32. Whoops, I said 34. Don't believe me, I lie. 32 by 32. It's a good thing I didn't try that size. Oh. Yeah, 64 by 64. Alright, carrying on. Onwards and upwards. These ones are all 301 by 301, but that's okay. I want to see how they turn out. Let's try this one really small and see what happens. I don't do BMP very often, so I always look for it in that list. Alright, get rid of that one. And Earth and View. Sometimes I forget that step a lot. Alright, decrease. And save. Beautiful, that one should look pretty good too. So painted, painted, and we'll throw it in the dogs folder, which I have open twice now. Refresh, and pick our Fuzzlemutt. Ah, that looks nice. That's cute. And obviously you don't have to, oh, it's no shines? No? Sorry, distracted. Obviously you don't have to do the full dog like I'm doing. Like the point of making textures is so you can do cool paintballs and stuff. So I just wanted to do this to show you guys on a dog because it's a nice big surface area that you can see. So there we go. Another one down. And I'm going to show you how to do a nice large photo resize because a lot of the times my textures that I make are really big images that I have to size down. So we might as well figure that out too while we're at it. Alright, so this one is 1000 by 1000. That's beautiful. So usually, let's see what it looks like. I kind of want to eyeball it. Play around with it a bit because if I made it 128 by 128, it might be actually fairly nice. This one might look good like that. Let's try it. We're not too far off. Let's try it for shits and giggles. Always save in BMP. Orphan view. What have I done? Oh, I clicked the wrong one, didn't I? That's the PNG one. I'm straying from my usual method and leaving all of the stuff on the desktop, and that's why I'm getting confused, because I don't usually do that, but that's okay. I'm sure you guys like watching me struggle. For real. Did I reduce the color? My goodness, I'm really tired today, guys. So sorry. But I'd rather be safe than sorry and have to do it again. So let's go neon green. Save. And stick that in our dogs folder. Bring out that Fuzzlemutt. Yeah, this is the problem with resizing really big images. Sometimes they don't turn out that great. I mean, it's not bad. It's kind of cute, especially if you are just using it for paintballs. But let's see if we can get it to look a little bit better in-game. I think we can do this. Basically, what we're trying to do is find a sweet spot for the image size. So I think I'm gonna make it smaller. And that's all I'm gonna do. Did I reduce? Oh my gosh. I cannot remember for the life of me. So yeah, just remember every time you make any changes to your file in your photo editor that you change it in OrphanView as well. Otherwise you'll get all kinds of errors like I did. Replace. Looks a little better. It's cute. It just looks a little too pixelated for me, I'm thinking. but I would definitely use it for hexing. Maybe it's just because you can see the edge. Sometimes if the one edge is darker than the other. Let's look at the photo. Like probably this area where it's dark makes a bit of a line. In my experience, seamless patterns work awesome. So if you can find some seamless patterns, or if you're making your own textures and you're wanting to use do geometrically symmetrical kind of patterns, they look really, really nice. So that's it for now. Those are my tips and tricks. If you're having issues resizing larger textures, just shout at me and I'll try and give you a little bit more of an explanation. You kind of do have to play with the grain of the texture that you're dealing with, and you kind of have to experiment a lot and get a little bit of an eye for what's going to look good in the game. So hopefully that helps you guys a little bit. Again, let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if you have questions, comments, concerns, whatever. Leave me a comment or shout at me on the various places that I am around the PC. Hope you learned something, and thanks for watching.